Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Data Analysis YouTube channel. For this particular tutorial, we will be going through Vlookup and Hlookup. Okay, so Vlookup is basically vertical lookup, while Hlookup is, so this is Vlookup and Hlookup. So Vlookup is vertical lookup, Hlookup is horizontal lookup. Okay, VLOOKUP looks at the column, and because of course vertical and horizontal lookup looks at the rows. So we will go through both of them with examples, and we'll also highlight the differences which we're going to see practically. Okay, so if this is the first time of visiting this YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe and like the content. Okay, hit the like button and also drop a comment in the comment section about what you want to see next. And if you have another way of doing this, okay, you can drop that comment in the comment section. And you should also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. This is going to be another interesting video session. Okay, so for VLOOKUP, yeah, what does it do? The VLOOKUP function, let's imagine that we have a task, okay, to provide the amount, okay, sold by agent H, Agent H sold security items. Okay, how much did he sell them? This may be very tasking, especially if you have like 5,000 lines of data. Okay, it's quite easy for this particular example because we can see and the data set is not a lot. But imagine that you're in a context where you have 5,000 rows of data and you're asked to find very specific information. How do you find that out? Okay, without doing, without having to do a lot of sorting and looking for the data which may not be correct at the end of the day. VLOOKUP is what you need that makes your life easier. So the VLOOKUP function is divided, so it has different parts. It has, the first one is a lookup value. What value are you looking for? Okay, the next one is the table array. It's the table, okay, that the table where you're looking for that lookup value. Okay, and it has to contain that table. The table selection must contain two things. It must contain two columns. Number one, it must contain the column that has the lookup value. Okay, and the next part is that the table array must contain, okay, the column that contains your response, okay, the value that you want or whatever you want Excel to give you as a feedback. The table array must contain that column as well. Two things in your table array must contain. It must contain one, the column where your lookup value sits, and it must also contain the column where your answer, the answer that you're looking for, your response, where it sits, the column where that sits. Your table array must capture that. If not, you're going to get an error message. And of course, the next part is the column index number. Okay, so you're going to have to count the column index number from the left to the right. Always remember from the left to the right. So counting your column index number from your right to the left does not work for VLOOKUP. Okay, it is one-sided. Okay, it has to go from left to right. And then you have the range lookup. Okay, which is like your do you want an approximate match or do you want an exact match? So we are going to look at that right away. So let us assume that we want to look for the items sold and the amount for a specific sales agent. So to enhance this, let us do a small dashboard. I'm just going to merge this together and call it sales dashboard. And I'm going to do some quick edits to make it look beautiful. So here, the first part, I have sales agent, and the next one I have items sold, and then I have amount. And even more importantly, of course, we can make it interactive. Okay, so we are going to see how we're doing that right now. Um, so that it's easy for us to make selections because we have sales agents from A to Q, right? So to make this very interactive, we are going to do data validation for the sales agent, okay, so that we do not have to manually impute every sales agent that we want at every time. So data validation, and make the selection list. Now the source, we are going to make this selection as the source. And if you do not know how to do data validation, there is a complete tutorial on this. So please do well. The link is in the description box. So do well to watch that video to see how to do data validation and also other aspects of data validation. So now we have this, okay? We have a drop down that has all the agent names. Perfect. So the next thing we're looking for is, I'm just going to make a selection here that says agent C. I had made an edit on this file, and this is why we had the drop down, but I've taken it out right now. Okay, so agent, say agent D or agent E, for example, just anyone. And we want to look up the item sold by agent E. Okay, what did agent E sell? We can do this with Vlookup. The lookup value is agent E, which is this. The table array, we are going to make a selection of the table right now. And like I mentioned, it has to contain two things. It has to contain the column where your lookup value sits, which is this. So the lookup value is agent E, and it sits in column A, which is sales agent. It's in the selection of the table array. And then I want to know how the item he sold, which is in column B. So stretching it all the way, it's actually not useful. Okay, so item column B is the item sold. Okay, so this is my table array, and I put the comma. And the column index number. So the column index number is saying what is the number of the column of your response, of what you're looking for. The column, okay, the column number of what you're looking for. So in this case, the column number is 2. Okay, and 2 is, column A is 1. This is the first selection. Okay, and mind you, not because we started from column A, sometimes your selection could even start from column C and D, but of course in the eyes of Excel, for the purposes of VLOOKUP, okay, your column index number, you have to start counting only the columns selected in the table array. So this is 1 and 2, so your column index number is 2. And then I want column index number is 2. I want an exact match, so I'm going to put false. And this is what I have. So agent E sold medical items. Very easy. If you have a huge range of data, this is super duper helpful. And then we go to the next one, which is how much? What is the amount sold by agent E? Okay, and we can also use VLOOKUP to get this information. The lookup value is agent E. The table array is this. The column index number at this point is going to be 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, because 3, it is 3 because we're looking for the amount. And of course, in the table array, the amount sits in the third column in the table array. And my next argument will say, so I put 3 here and I put false. And I hit enter, and this is what we have. Okay, so I'm just going to insert like a dummy column, and let me call this dummy column just to show us how the selection, how to understand the column index number. And for this column, for this dummy column, I'm just going to put yes, yes, and no, and I'm going to copy that down. I'm going to drag this down. Okay. So let's try to do this again. VLOOKUP. The lookup value is this, agent E. The table array, like I mentioned, the table array must contain two columns. The first one is the column that has the lookup value, and the second column is the column that has the answer that you're looking for. We're looking for amount, which is column D. And mind you, okay, the first column you have to select from, the first column that you have to choose in your table array has to be the column that has your lookup value. See how we ignored this dummy column, okay? We did not select the table array from this dummy column because we have no business with this for the purposes of this particular video. The lookup value is in sales agent, which is column B right now. And this is why we started selecting our table array from column B. Okay. And then I put 1, 2, 3. So without the table array, column D is column number 4. But in the table array, it is 3 because it's the third column in the table array. Okay. So take note of this. This is super important. I'm going to put 3 here and I put false. And I hit enter and I still get the same response. Okay, so this is what we have. And let me just make a few edits to make this look like a small dashboard that it is. And I'm going to put the border. And I choose this very quickly. And I do this. Okay. So this looks like it looks like a dashboard where you can make a selection from. Okay, and I can also fill this up. I can change let me just change I change the background fill to something light gray. Perfect. Okay. So if you want to see how that was done, okay, in very detailed terms, of course, we have YouTube videos, we have videos that looked at the very basics of Microsoft Excel. Please do well to visit other videos in this YouTube channel. So when I select agent G, I just have these changes automatically done. Okay, and select agent M. Agent M sold scooters for 14,000 Naira for the purposes of this video. And I have agent O, and then I have agent P. Okay, so you can make your selection from the drop down, and then you have this interactive dashboard. And of course, I have agent K that sold windshield for 15,000 Naira. So this is it about VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP helps you to look up a value, okay, in the midst of a lot of information, and then you can get specific information that you seek for. So we are going right away into HLOOKUP, okay. HLOOKUP works in another way, and we are going to use this same data. So I'll just copy and paste in this other sheet, but this time around I am going to paste as transpose, because one of the secrets for HLOOKUP is that just like for the VLOOKUP, you must have column headers. Okay, for HLOOKUP, you need to have row headers. Okay, and this is why I copied and pasted and transposed the pasted information. So we are also going to have the sales dashboard. I'm just going to copy this and also paste here. And of course we have this popping up because the formulas are not correct. So Excel doesn't understand and it's giving us an error message. So it's the same. Oh yeah. So we have this as well, and we need to update. Of course, we need to update our data validation file, which is something we are doing right away. So data validation, the source has to change. The source of this has to change to this one, and okay. And then we have our data validation updated. Perfect. So how does HLOOKUP works? HLOOKUP, how does it work rather? So HLOOKUP works exactly like VLOOKUP because you have the same requirements in the formula, but then with some differences. For the VLOOKUP formula, you have the column index number, but for the HLOOKUP, you have the row index number because it looks at things horizontally. The HLOOKUP formula looks at the rows, while the VLOOKUP formula looks at the columns. Okay, so this is the difference between the HLOOKUP and the VLOOKUP formula. So here we have the lookup value is this, and then of course your table array, you need to also remember the selection is from left to right. Okay, I am looking for the item sold. So I'm just going to choose this one all the way down. And the row index number in this case is what? It's 2. Because when you count from the top, of course. Row number 1 and row number 2. Okay? So your row index number is 2. And this is false because I want an exact match. And there you go, sneakers. Okay, so just like we observed, of course, if we want to count the way the rows are arranged, we are going to see that item sold is actually row number 3, but in the table array, it's row number 2. Okay, so the counting is very important. And then we want to know the amount sold. Of course, we do VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP value is this. And then we do the comma. The table array would be all of this. And then it's supposed to be HLOOKUP. So HLOOKUP, I open the bracket, the lookup value is this. The table array is this. And the row index number is 3 because we're looking for the amount. And then I get a false here because I want an exact match. And this is what I have. So if I change this to agent A, this is the amount that I have as well. So we see how this works. It gives us exactly the same amount. It gives us the same value, but just because it was transposed, the column headers in the previous VLOOKUP example are now the row headers. And of course, you can do multiple HLOOKUPs in the same formula. Okay, so you could do another HLOOKUP, right? Just like this HLOOKUP. I want to divide the amount sold by agent A with the amount sold by agent B. This is what I want to achieve right now. So my lookup value in this case will be, I'm going to put agent B manually because of course from the agent B. And because I am putting text, I'm putting text in a function, I have to put it in the quotation mark so that Excel will understand it as numbers, not text. Okay, so I put the comma, and then the table array is the same table array that I have. And I put the comma, the row index number is 3. I put the comma and I put false. So if you notice, this is the division sign that I already put here. Okay, and I want to achieve, what I want to know is the amount sold by agent A divided by the amount sold by agent B. This is what I want to achieve. And this is what I have. Of course, if you want to test this outside amount sold by agent A divided by amount sold by agent B, this is the same thing that we have. Okay, so we've been able to use HLOOKUP to achieve this very easily. So this will be the end of this particular video. We've gone through how to do HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. We also merged two HLOOKUP formulas together to see how it works. So if you like the content, please drop a comment in the comment section, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're coming for the first time and if you're yet to subscribe. I will see you in another video, while you also hit the notification bell so that you get updates whenever we upload new videos. Bye bye and see you in another video.